All right, so I guess first thing I wanted to say is good morning to you. I think I messed up for one. Well, who knows where else I messed up, that's true. But if you look over here, this is the circuit. Pin number 4, what's pin number 4? Pin number 4 is grid number 1. Grid number 1 comes out, goes down here and through a 47 kilo ohm down to ground. And from that exact same point, in series, it has a capacitor C5 going to pin number 1 of this inductor coil, or the oscillator coil. Well, before, I didn't have it written. You can't really see it, but I had it. Pin number 4 was connected to the oscillator coil, and at that same point, it goes down C5, and in the series, it was R1 down to ground. So the circuit has changed. And I haven't implemented this change yet in the actual electronics, but I just realized a problem. So they have a capacitor in series with the coil, and then at that same point also there's a resistor going to ground. Again, so here's grid number 1 comes out, a capacitor in series with the coil down to ground, and also a 47 kilo ohm parallel to it down the ground. I sure wish they made it easier on that whatchamacallit to understand, but look, in 1941 I was looking at like where am I looking at there? Yeah, and like they're doing the same thing, you know, the kind of block format. I don't care for that block format. I think this is the schematic you were referring to. I don't understand what the 2 loops are. Maybe 1 and 2, is that what they're talking about? Notice that the 2 loops of the wire are coupled to the hot end of the grid coil and take the place of the separate condensers. The grid coupling condenser and the antenna coupling condenser are thereby eliminated. So yeah, this is a little bit beyond my pay grade. Still trying to digest that and figure out what's going on there, but for the most part, I see a lot of similarities. I noticed that the plate of this one goes to the coil itself, and then it comes back down to neutral via that capacitor. And on the schematic that I've been doing, the plate goes to the antenna itself, and then comes back down through the coil, which is energized by the B+ line. I guess, right? I'm guessing. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really understand how this works. I was looking and learning about oscillators and how there was a tuned, basically inductor capacitor arrangement, normally with the capacitor being tuned, but for the most part I understood that would be like, you know, on a parallel connection, like the capacitor would be from here down here. Anyway, so I'm still learning about oscillators, of course, just a baby in that regard. But anyways, I think I made a mistake, and I'm gonna go and see, double check, triple check, and then probably change the wiring, and I'll get back with you as far as if that changes the circuit or the performance at all. All right, so I really got to go through this. I mean, I thought I did, but I'm also noticing that C6 touches number 1 and goes to ground. Here, I've got it touching number 4 and going to ground, so really it should be like right here and then going down ground right here. So let me erase this and put it in another capacitor right there, C6 to ground. And yeah, who knows what it's like a completely different circuit. So we'll see. That's probably the tuning thing I just told you about, right? The C6 being in parallel with that inductor. So maybe this C5 is just coupling the oscillation down to grid number 1 or up to grid number 1, and maybe perhaps this resistor is that the grid loading resistor? Or is it serving some sort of like, I guess, like a low frequency bypass where it goes to ground? I'm not quite sure. I still got to reread. I've read it once, but I need to reread my book about the oscillators and all that. Grid loading, capacitors, resistors, plate loading, resistors, all that stuff. I just got to reread all that stuff to really learn it. All right, so again, found another error, so we'll see what's going on, and I'll get back with you. All right, so I think this is what I was talking about. Inductor is coupled to grid number 1 through C5. Perhaps this is the grid loading resistor. I still have to relearn that part. And then C6, I'm guessing, is making the tuned circuit. Is that correct? This is a 150 picofarad capacitor right there, C6. And it's my guess that, yeah, I guess that's it. What is the grid? Does the output come through here and couple to there? Energize the coil with the AC, and then it's goes up through here the antenna. I don't know. You're gonna have to help me with that one. If it's not too much time to write, and otherwise you can give me a call. I'll be here today. But anyways, I found these errors. I'm gonna go look through it yet again and see if I have any more errors, and I'll implement this circuit shortly.